The Arizona Wildcats just keep rolling in historic fashion. More on that and a whole lot more here on the AZ Wildcats podcast. Leave a like. Do not go anywhere.
Welcome on into the AZ Wildcats podcast, coming to you live from Studio K, presented by our fine friends over at Circle K. And I'm a little extra fired up, Kevin, because the Wildcats are 15-0. The Wildcats are the #1 team in the country, and the Wildcats continue to dominate and show that they are the true Wildcats in the Big 12 Conference, owning Kansas State this year with a clean sweep, Kevin? What? I am, of course, Damon Fairall. He is Kevin Thomas. We are the AZ Wildcats pod, doing a post-game show, and we are, of course, presented by our fine sponsors over at Branded Bills. Head on over to brandedbills.com, use promo code BBPHNX, and get 15% off your first order. Again, that's brandedbills.com, use promo code BBPHNX to get 15% off your first order. We love our friends over at Branded Bills. Kevin Thomas, another win, another dominant win for the Wildcats, and it looked exactly how we thought it was going to look. Out-rebounding, out-muscling, out-dunking, and just really out-physicaling the Kansas State Wildcats tonight. What did you see?
Man, what a team we have here on our hands. We knew that already, but every game I'm reminded of how good this team is and how much it's going to take them beating themselves for them to lose a game in the Big 12. Now, we do have some very tough teams coming up. We're going to get to that a little bit later in this year's show. But I do think that this team is at that level where if they play their game, hell, I mean, this team won by, what's the differential? Whatever the hell the differential is tonight, Damon, they won without the three. You had 3 made threes in this game, and you put up 101 points. This team is special. They're the only team, and I can throw up the tweet here now, they're the only team in the entirety of the NCAA to out-rebound every opponent this season. That is special. Now, I'm getting that from the FS1 broadcast. They threw that stat up there, so if I'm wrong, don't throw shots at me. Throw shots at FS1. But if this holds, that is incredible to be the only team to out-rebound every single one of your opponents this year. And I think it only underlines the fact that this team is special. And Burries Muse says it in the chat. Motiejus Krivas tonight, spoiler alert, he was not our king of the court, but damn it, he deserved a shout in that conversation, Damon, because a career high for him. He was absolutely incredible tonight. Peat had it looking like the NBA dunk contest at times. Yeah, in this one, he was going nuts, doing the Jordan logo, as you put out on your Twitter. Tonight was fun, man. I love good hoops. I love great basketball teams, and Arizona is a whole lot of both of those things.
Absolutely. I mean, this Arizona team is so fun to watch. But it's almost to the point, Kevin, where like it's like a little bit boring, where you're watching them and you're like, man, is anyone going to even like go toe to toe with these guys? I want to see a little bit of competition. We might get that in the form of TCU on the weekend because they got a pretty decent team over there, and they almost beat Kansas at Kansas the other night. So that is a serious matchup indeed, but. It's just been an unbelievable start to the season. Picture perfect. I don't know if I've ever seen a team that is this physically dominant in college basketball, Kevin. Like, we've seen teams that are the mix of the physicality with the skill. We talk a lot about like that Duke team last year and how big they were, their size component, their size factor, but also combined with Cooper Flagg's taking the ball up the court at 6'9", and Proctor is 6'6" playing freaking point guard or whatever. Like they were huge, but I don't think that they had the level of physicality that this team has. Like they had the size, they had the skill, but they were nowhere near as physical as this team. And this team, like, not only do they want to go out there and beat you, they want to hurt you in the process. And it's insane to watch. Like Peat is trying to put people on life support. Tobe Awaka is genuinely maybe the strongest man that has ever lived. Ivan Kharchenkov is getting elbowed in the mouth and getting up and going, okay, let's do it. Let's go. Let's run it. Like this team is just, it's so physically imposing, and they add in like the aspect of actually like putting bodies on dudes constantly. And it's truly special to watch. That stat is ridiculous. 15 games through a season, you have yet to be out-rebounded. And I'm not sure it's even been close. What's the closest margin of rebound there?
I could try to find it for you.
It's probably some team that we didn't even expect, Kevin, is the thing. What a just insane start to the season for the Wildcats. And yeah, it continues to be just a joy to watch.
It does. You mentioned the size, right? How about the size and the skill of this front court, right? Like from possession one, literally possession one possession, one Arizona offensive rebound, 2 second chance points. And that's the way the whole night went for the K-State Wildcats, right? And it felt like they had no answer, and this is true. They had no answer for the size. They had no answer for the skill. They had no answer for the physicality of Arizona's overall team, but specifically the front court.
Yeah.
We talk about Krivas. Man, he was moving dudes left, right, center, whichever way he wanted to put them. It was like he was playing a game out there.
It's everything we've asked Mo Krivas to do, was it not?
It was everything we've asked Mo Krivas to do, and I think he would probably argue he has needed a little bit of time to get there, and boy, is he there right now to a point where his footwork looks incredible. He's quick with his decisions once he gets the ball. He's not taking it down, doing all this, waiting for someone to take it from him. He's going and getting it, and yeah, incredible to see Mo Krivas absolutely take it up a notch, and a new career high for Mo Krivas. He had 21 was his career high, but he had 25 for the whole game. Incredibly efficient. 7 for 10, 11 for 12 from the free throw line. Does that interest anyone? Damon, I saw, now do with this what you will. This is, random draft analyst on Twitter, not associated with any, major publication or any inside information. But I was going through and on my For You page the other day, some guy's tweet, he did a whole draft board, both rounds. So at least he put some thought and effort into it. Mm-hmm. You don't do both rounds unless you're actually putting thought and effort into it. For what it's worth, the man had Krivas at 18. In the NBA draft, Motiejus Krivas at 18. I'm not saying that
size.
I'm not saying that I think he's the 18th overall pick. I'm not saying I don't think he's the 18th overall pick. My point to you by bringing that up is that the man is getting better and people are noticing, and it's too far gone. We're past the point of, man, I'm wrong about Mo Krivas. We're just in the boat of I was wrong, but I'm happy to be here with Mo Krivas. The man is getting continually better. And I don't know when it's going to stop. And I love that for Arizona.
I like that that's where you took that conversation, because that's exactly where I was going to take the conversation. You're telling me that Tommy Lloyd, the big man whisperer, the European big man whisperer, the foreign big man whisperer, knows a little bit more about big man development than a couple Joe Schmoes up here on the AZ Wildcats podcast? Wow. Shocking. I didn't see that. Yeah. I mean, obviously, like, we weren't the highest on Mo Krivas all offseason, but this has been a joy to watch. Like, truly, no one wants to be wrong about, like, talking about negative aspects of an Arizona Wildcats player than these two guys. Like, we wanted Mo Krivas to go out there and prove us wrong, and he's embarrassing us, I feel like, nightly, Kevin, at this point. Like,
I love it.
I love it too. That game tonight was special out of him. Like, he is legitimately he's flying down the court. For a guy his size, he is flying down the court. He is pinning big men underneath the basket. Like, that Kansas State big man, that poor kid. Dude. He just had no chance.
Raul Rosas, you mean?
Yeah, Raul Rosas. That is who I know.
Yeah, Buka is his government name. But
10 Toes Down MMA, if you're here, you'll love that reference. He is pinning dudes down underneath the basket. And then when he catches the rock, he's just straight shoulder into chest. They're flying feet forward, and he's dunking all over them. It's everything we've asked Mo Krivas to do. It's everything we've asked Mo Krivas to work on and develop and just add that physicality aspect to his game, because he is so large. The girth. It's insane. Like, you knew that this is what the vision of Mo Krivas was. He just wasn't that guy yet. Yeah. But now he is finally figuring out, like, man, I'm a mean MFer. And I love it, Kevin. I absolutely love it. Feed Krivas. This center rotation is insane.
It's unbelievable. The whole front court's unbelievable. Peat is an unstoppable force. How do you stop that guy? I know Tobe Awaka is an immovable object, but Peat might be the unstoppable force.
100%.
Right? Because how do you combat that? And we just got done for 3 minutes talking about the 7'2" guy who can protect the rim and be a lob threat on the other end. This Arizona front court is special. This Arizona front court is the best in the country, and I will no longer hear any other arguments. Honestly, I think there was a good month and a half. It was a good run with the other front courts in the country of which team could give Arizona a front court battle. And it's just, they don't have it. And honestly, Desert Kid, you might be onto something. The move might just be to get the biggest,
outgirth,
largest man in the state that you reside and just throw him in a jersey. Partially K-State was playing some of those guys because their actual bigs got in such early foul trouble because they had such issues combating the size of Arizona that you had no choice but to throw out Drewski, throw out Raul Rosas for large amounts of minutes when you don't want to do that otherwise, right? So, yeah, the front court battle in the nation is done. Arizona is winning it. Now, obviously, you got to play the rest of the year. But right now, there's no other front court that I think can really present the same amount of problems that Arizona presents, right? Like the size, the skill, the physicality, the athleticism, the ability to handle the ball if you're Peat, like the ability to shoot the ball if you're Peat and Tobe Awaka. All of a sudden, they're stepping out and shooting threes. This Arizona front court is incredible, Damon. I don't know what else to say about it. I do want to get into this game, though, because we have a whole lot to break down on this postgame show. We got Saul Bookman. We got some takes from you guys on Twitter, and we got a whole lot more. So let's go ahead and start with our By the Numbers here on the AZ Wildcats podcast. Or no, what, actually? Let's go to King of the Court.
All
because
right,
I think the people really want to talk about Brayden Burries. And spoiler alert, it's Brayden Burries. God.
My guy Chris Tricks. Chill. We're getting to Brayden Burries.
I get the excitement, though. I get the excitement, though. Brayden Burries Muse in the chat as well.
Yeah, that dude loves Brayden Burries. Burries Muse might have a little bit of a competition here.
I believe Chris went to the same high school.
Yeah, I think at least from Southern California. But yeah, Brayden Burries continues to look better and better each game. Yeah. 28 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. And Kevin, the eye test showed you exactly that. Scoring at will, scoring in every different way, whether it's a floater, whether it's, off the dribble, whether it's, a more of a spot up shot, whether it's him dunking on people like in that graphic. Brayden Burries is absolutely incredible right now. And I feel like, obviously there was a time where he was not playing his best basketball. We have, since made it past that. We can throw that in the rear view. That wasn't Brayden Burries. That was him getting his feet wet in college for the first time. And it makes sense. It happens. The dude's I think guards in particular might need a little bit more time to acclimate to the pace of the game and whatnot, because you're also having to initiate the offense. The dudes you're going against are extremely fast, extremely athletic, whereas the big men are maybe a little bit more accustomed to using their size to get theirs and dominate more so. I think Brayden Burries is fully arrived. We're watching that happen on a game-by-game basis. And Kevin, he looks truly like a first-round pick in the NBA draft right now. Like that, I know that was never really probably a concern for the Burries family, for Tommy Lloyd, for the people in and around the Arizona basketball program. But I think what we're all watching right now is an NBA first-round draft pick.
Yeah, he looks like an NBA guard out there right now, the way he's playing. This is the 3-level scorer that was advertised to us coming in from California. Now, obviously, tonight, he wasn't great from beyond the arc, but nobody was for Arizona. He shot 1 for 5 from 3 in this one, but he countered that with 4 steals and a block on the other end. And I think that's where I want to take this, is right. We knew Brayden Burries, with time in college basketball, would figure out the offensive stuff.
Yeah.
We knew that.
For sure.
He's an incredible scorer, got all the tools. He's physical, he's big, he's a little older for his class. He just needed some reps to put the pieces together, solve it in live time, and now we're past that. The thing with Brayden Burries that impressed me the most this year is I thought he could be a decent defender at best. I thought this year he would be able to use his physicality and his frame alongside the really good defenders next to him to get things done on that end. He's not only become a good defender, you could make arguments that he's one of Arizona's best defenders right now. like on ball, off ball, one of their best defenders, which is a long, long call from where we were night one against Florida, with Brayden Burries getting taken out of the game because he can't track Xavier Lee on pin down screens and things of that nature. Man, what a player. Brayden Burries, like 4 steals in this game. And that's not only to mention another defensive aspect of his, the rebounding, which I've been talking about this year as well. He's a slept-on rebounder, that man. He was doing it in the preseason. He's been doing it in the regular season. Tonight, 9 boards. 1 board shy of his first career double-double for Brayden Burries. Unbelievable the leaps he's made. Unbelievable the player that he is. Also, the teammate that he is. Now, it's easy. It's so easy to be a good teammate when you're 15-0.
100%.
It's incredibly easy to celebrate with Peat and all that stuff. But he was doing this when they were winning, and he was stinking it up. And now he gets the front run a little bit, and I love that for Brayden Burries. That little clip of him and Peat hitting the bench together, rubbing each other on the head, giving each other a little bit of a noogie. That was awesome. I live for that. The vibes of this team are incredible. You're getting leadership from your freshmen, and that is awesome. So Brayden Burries, our king of the court, well-deserved, well-earned. Sorry to Mo Krivas, who definitely deserved a shout in this conversation, but this man is a freshman doing it, and doing it at a very high level. 28 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, a block, and 4 steals for one Brayden Burries. Now, me and Damon, we got a whole lot more to get to here on the AZ Wildcats post-game podcast. I need y'all to leave a like, stick around, arguably most importantly, drink your water, but do not go anywhere. We'll be right back. Damon, after this show, I might have to hit up Circle K. Not only because I'm thirsty, not only because I might need some gas, but I'm feeling a little lucky after these Wildcats have been winning the way they've been winning. I might hit up that Arizona Lottery kiosk that you got right there behind you, that little pretty logo. They have some kiosks at Circle K. They also have snack deals. They got meal deals. They got gas deals. And that's where I'm really here to tell you about it. If you join that inner circle for free today, you can get 25 cents off per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups. Now, that's a pretty damn good deal to me, but the savings don't stop there. After your first 5, you get 3 cents off on every single gallon until you graduate, take that gas pump from one side of your head to the other, and then you get 5 cents off per gallon. Unbelievable deals. Not to mention random sporadic fuel days where you're walking up to the pump getting 40 cents off per gallon. 40. We've had people in the office that have figured out, they've used their big brains here at PHNX to take their gas card on the fuel day, get like 65 cents off a gallon.
And if you want a gas card, you just got to come to a PHNX event, and I promise you, we'll find a way to get you one.
I mean, we got them. As quiet as it's kept, we got them. Max might want to gatekeep them, but we got them. Shout out to Circle K. Shout out to all their great savings. If you want to become like me, like Damon, like all the smart people here at PHNX, join that inner circle for free right now by downloading the Circle K app. Terms and conditions do apply only at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for more details.
You already know that Phoenix and Arizona in general is one of the best sports communities out there. But this spring, it's about to raise that bar to an entirely new level. For the first time ever, NASCAR and NTT IndyCar Series are racing during the same weekend, Kevin, out there at Phoenix Raceway, and you get a front row seat to it all. Nothing delivers the intensity of race weekend. The engines firing, the smell of the rubber, the crowd erupting as the field charges into turn 1. It's the kind of energy you really have to feel in person to understand. We went out there a couple of years ago, and let me tell you, it is absolutely electric out there at the foothills of the Estrella Mountains. It's the best access in motorsports. Go inside the garage, walk the track, meet the drivers, and catch the pre-race concert. No sport brings fans closer. Upgrade to the Desert Diamond Casino infield experience. Camping options are available. Camp all week long with RV camping for you and your crew. Ticket options, hillside view of the Cup race weekend packages that make planning easy. Witness 3 action-packed days of racing. You can watch the 2025 Cup Series champion Kyle Larson return to the track where he won it all just a couple months ago. The 2026 Spring NASCAR weekend at Phoenix Raceway is making history with NASCAR and NTT IndyCar Series sharing the same track on the same day. Wow. And you'll want to be able to say that you were there. NASCAR and NTT IndyCar Series weekend at Phoenix, March 5th through 8th. Be there, secure your seats now at the link in our show description.
Be there or be square, Damon. While we're on the topic of players making an impact for this Arizona Wildcats basketball team, can we give a shout to Kharchenkov, who Now that I think about it, maybe has he taken the biggest beatings of anybody on the court, like on court this year? Think back to was it the Florida game where they were literally physically assaulting him?
Yeah.
And he overcomes it. Tonight he catches an elbow to the cheekbone. Those good German cheekbones. That's not nice. You can't do that. You might think it's not good. You can't mess with bones, guys. You can't break bones. But Ivan Kharchenkov, right? Like I posted it yesterday or 2 days ago. Fran Fraschilla posted it 2 days ago. Like we're all starting to get on to what Ivan Kharchenkov's game is. And what is his game? Steals, slams, winning basketball. It's incredible, the addition that he's been to this Arizona basketball team. We talk about it all the time on this podcast, but I think with every passing game that he produces at this level, and tonight was not even a technically productive night for him. In fact, you could argue if you are doing the box score watching type of analysis that it was a bad Ivan Kharchenkov game. 4 points, 1 for 3 from the field, 0 for 1 from 3, 2 for 4 from the line, 2 boards, 1 assist, 3 fouls, 2 blocks, and a steal. It doesn't jump off the page to you tonight, but it might the next game. And I don't think there's anything that Ivan Kharchenkov after tonight, but it doesn't necessarily like stick out to me as anything that, I'm worried about that he didn't really produce tonight. The man was making winning basketball plays like he always does, and he is genuinely a pleasure to watch when he is cooking. Damon, can you talk to me just a little bit before we get our guy Saul in here about Ivan Kharchenkov?
Yeah, it doesn't need to be loud from a box score scoring standpoint because he is impactful on a game-by-game basis, because he brings it defensively, because he knows where he needs to be. He's so physical. He makes a positive impact on every game that he plays in. And some of the scoring stuff will come, Kevin. How often are we watching games where he has just an NBA move to the basket, and then he just kind of cooks the finish, and then I look at you and I say, man, when he starts scoring those, like we're talking about like an absolute star in the making. And that sounds crazy. I think if you look at his stats, you'd be like a star, but it's like, yeah, because he has all the physical tools. He has the mental side of the game. He wants to win. He wants to contribute in a positive way to winning. It's not all about just him putting up stats. And I think that, Ivan Kharchenkov is the exact type of player that winning basketball teams need, especially in college basketball. You need guys that are going to be willing to sacrifice their own maybe offensive output for the betterment of the team. And he has provided that role to almost the perfect level so far this season. And it's honestly, Ivan Kharchenkov is one of the most fun players to watch, I would argue, in all of college basketball. And I, like I said to you at one point, I'm like, I really hope he stays next year, man, because next year, like, I think he could be just so special. And I think, like he's going to be fine no matter what. He goes league this year. Like he probably is going to be, like the teams will see the intangibles. They'll see the athleticism, and they'll be like, we got to get a piece of that. But I just can't help but feel if he comes back next year, like I'm willing to put out there lottery if he comes back next year.
I feel
and so
he's well-rounded enough.
I really hope he does. But let's go ahead and get our guy Saul Bookman in here live from the McKale Center out there on the court, wearing little twinning action with my guy Kevin Thomas, rocking that PHNX Brandon Bills canvas hat. Saul Bookman, how are we doing? How's the greatest city on earth treating you?
Fantastic as always. I had a little Miss Saigon before I came to the arena. You know how it goes right there. If you don't know, and listen, if you don't know about Miss Saigon, I don't know what to tell you, because that's, it's my favorite thing.
Yeah, no doubt. Miss Saigon is pretty fire. A little bit of Vietnamese food in you before a big-time basketball game at McKale. Saul, a 25-point win tonight. I think that this is somewhat what we expected. Kevin and I talked a lot about, and it's not like this is rocket science, but this team just goes out there and they physically dominate you. And especially against teams that are just inferior to them, they don't leave it up to chance. They just go out there and they do exactly that. What did you see tonight that you really liked from the Wildcats?
I mean, listen, they were going to devastate Kansas State on the boards, and they did that. 55 rebounds to I think 29 for K-State. Like they had no chance inside. And Jerome Tang, in the post-game presser, he even said that. He was like, "What are you going to do? Like these guys are, they just played two teams in BYU and Arizona that are just dogs on the boards, and you can't do much about it." One of the K-State guys was like, "So what can you do to close the gap?" He was like, bro, I'm just trying to get to the next game. It's like we closed the gap in the offseason with recruiting because I know what he wanted to say was, we ain't got it. We ain't got those dudes. Like, you see, they got 7-footers. They got dudes that look like Thanos. Like, what are you supposed to do against these guys? You know what I mean? Like, so, and then you throw in, like Brayden Burries almost got double-digit rebounds, and Peat, and like, listen, the dominance inside is remarkable. So I think that was the biggest. There's a time, there's points, and you guys tell me, because watching it on TV versus watching it in person, I feel like there's points where I think this team legitimately kind of gets a little bored. Like, I just feel like they kind of take the foot off the gas and they kind of go through the motions. And then when they got to kick it back up, they kick it back up. And I think in the start to second half, they came out and they were just like, yeah, all right, let's just wrap this up so we can go. And then about 8 minutes in, they're like, all right, we're playing with our food a little too much. Let's step on the gas a little bit. They did. They put the game away and it was over. So I don't know. Yeah, that's just my impression of what I saw tonight.
How do you fix that?
I mean, listen, there's small challenges for every 4 minutes that you go out there. And I think Tommy probably does that already. Like, you just got to challenge them. All right, let's win this 4 minutes. Let's win this next 4 minutes. Or sometimes you challenge individuals before the game. Like, hey, like, I know you've been doing this, and listen, not that any team in the Big 12 is a layup, but you challenge individuals like Brayden Burries. He got challenged to hit the boards a little bit more tonight. And he has done that the last 2 games. I think 20 total rebounds in the last 2 games combined. And so, like, these small little things that keep you invigorated. When you're playing against when you have elite players, sometimes the kind of the routine can be problematic. And so you have to switch it up. If you've ever taken those Myers-Briggs tests on personality, like a lot of people with an A-type personality can often get bored when there's too much of a routine. So they need something to kind of change it up. That's why you see like a lot of A-type personalities. They'll be in a job for 2 or 3 years, then they're on to the next one because they need that constant change and challenge. And I think sometimes when you're looking at these players, you got kind of the similar thing. Every now and then you got to switch it up. You got to keep them on their toes and let them go have at it. Now, when they play the big dogs in February, that's what you're really gearing up for right now. It's like, all right, like, listen, it's coming. So don't get too comfortable, because when it hits, it's going to hit really hard and it's not going to stop until we get to March. So I think if I'm Tommy, that's probably more of the message.
Saul, you kind of talked about ways to stay locked in, and Tommy Lloyd challenging his guys as a vehicle to have that result, right? One thing that I feel like we all talked about, especially you, I think, when you came on this post game for the Florida game, talked about Brayden Burries needing to improve defensively. And something we talked about on the first segment of this year post game show was he seems like he's done that, at least to a certain degree. Can you tell us a little bit what you've seen from Brayden Burries defensively, and are we reading that right?
No, I think you're absolutely reading that right. I think the whole team has improved defensively from game one, to be honest with you. You guys were talking
That's
about
terrifying.
Kharchenkov. Yeah, it's really terrifying. I think what I saw from Brayden Burries tonight was his anticipation, his quickness. He's not relying on his athletic gifts. He's thinking the game through, and he's anticipating what he's seeing in person. He's understanding the scouting report and the tendencies of these players. And I think that's all working in concert together to make sure that he's playing defense at an elite level. Because listen, last night on McKale Madness, Kevin, you saw the graphics that I was putting up, and the one common denominator between all the elite teams in the country, BYU excluded, is that they all play defense. They all play defense at a high level. And because defense travels no matter what. If you're on the road, if you're at a neutral site, defense always travels. And that is the recipe to keep you in every single game, no matter what tournament you're playing in. And so I think that's the main message for this entire squad. And Brayden Burries is really taking that to heart, and he's been playing phenomenal. Like, defensively, he was beating guys to the spot before the guy even knew that he wanted to get to that spot. And then they try to run the pick and roll. But listen, outside of PJ Haggerty, this team, K-State had nothing. They had nothing for Arizona. Arizona, the only way Arizona's going to lose, Jerome Tang even said, they needed to hit 14 threes tonight. They needed to chuck up at least 40 of them. I wonder if that happened.
They got close. They shot 36. I'll say this. Mad respect for Jerome Tang. Not trying to call him stupid or anything, but I'm not sure he's very good with the numbers. It takes a spade to know a spade. You know what I mean? Because after the BYU loss, where let me pull up exactly how many they shot, but they shot a ton of threes in that game, and they did not shoot them very well, Saul. And he was saying, I think we should have shot more threes.
Oh, yeah, he said that again tonight.
They shoot 8 for 36, get blown out by 25. Threes, nowhere near. I mean, you have to make a ton of threes if you're going to beat Arizona, but that's not the root of the issue, Mr. Jerome Tang. But he's like, we should have made 14, and this game is different. If you made 30, this game is different.
Well, he said, in his words, he's like, we made 8 tonight. He's like, if we make 14, then, we're right there. And it's a one-possession game with 10 minutes to go. That's a direct quote. And I was like, well, yeah. I mean, if my aunt had a, then she'd be my uncle. Like, what are we doing here? Like, this is crazy.
I did want to ask you, and Rick in the chat actually brings up the next topic here. Motiejus Krivas, the man has only gotten better game after game. He shut up every critic, it feels like, in the city of Tucson and in the city of Phoenix. Rick says here in the chat, Krivas affects the game. So many altered shots with his mobility and length. Can you talk a little bit about Mo Krivas and his growth this season?
I mean, mobility, Mo buckets, Mo rebounds. I mean, let's go. Mo wins. Let's go, baby. No, listen, Mo. I don't know if it was just Big 12 play or what. The other night, he was okay. The other night, he wasn't phenomenal. Like he probably had a rough game by his standards now this season. Tonight, his anticipation. What did we talk about before at the beginning of the season? I said one of the things that I was really frustrated with was his inability to feel the defense behind him. Mm-hmm. That didn't happen tonight. He could feel the defense behind him. That's why you saw him hit that spin move about 4 or 5 times on the catch to the rim. And now the next phase of this evolution is when he hits that spin move, don't hesitate. Go. You're 7-2. There's no reason to hesitate. You can score at will. And I think that's the next step. But you could tell that it's starting to come along. He's starting to get more comfortable. He's starting to feel, he's starting to feel comfortable in his own skin. And I know that sounds weird, like we all should feel comfortable in our own skin. That's not necessarily always the case, especially if you're a big man out there and you're playing against a smaller team like Kansas State is a smaller team. So where can you match up? And when I forgot what his name is, number 22 for K-State, the only big guy that they really had. There you go. When he was out there, Krivas wanted to cook. And you got to let him. And I really liked the fact that Arizona knew there was nobody down low that could stop Krivas. The only person that could stop Krivas is Krivas. Mm-hmm. And so they went to him a lot in that first half, and he played strong and he played powerful. And then I think you got rewarded with that on the defensive end. The blocks, the rebounds, like he had a really, really good, solid game tonight.
I don't know, and this is a bit of a diversion, but I wanted to ask you this, Saul, before I forget it. And it's something me and Damon were talking about during the game. In the Big 12, every team you face, there's going to be a time where no matter how much you're up or no matter how close the game is, there's going to be a punch from your opponent. And you're going to have to withstand that punch and not allow them to overtake the lead and then by proxy overtake the game. When you're Arizona and you are so good and you know you're so good and you know if you play your game, you can beat anybody, how do you avoid letting that punch knock you out? Right? Like K-State came out in the second half, started like 5 for 7, got the lead down to 9 with 16 left. But then Arizona kind of put a stop to it and said, you know what, we're getting right back up to 15 points. We're going to keep it in that 15 to 25 range, and you're not touching us with a 10-foot pole. How does a team stop those runs from overcoming them when they know they're the better side?
I mean, listen, that's all because of the type of players you recruit right there, okay? You guys have all played college football 26,
too much.
And some of those intangibles that they, maybe head case or, what's it like, clutch ability and stuff like that. Like this whole team is so calm and level-headed that no run is going to throw them off. They all have championship pedigree. They've all won championships at some level in their lives. They've all been through some hostile environments. They've all gone to UConn, which is a very hostile environment. They've all played on the road in game number 1 against the defending national champions and the number 3 team in the country to start the season. That builds confidence. So when you and remember in that Florida game, Florida came out hot and they were up by 12 to start that game, and they didn't get rattled at all. They didn't even bat an eye. They're like, all right, well, let's just go through our stuff and we'll find a way. And then Peat rose to the occasion and helped us save the day. Like, that's what this team is all about. They're going to find a way. Like, until they lose, they're going to find a way. That's what their mentality is. And listen, if you've ever played a sport and you've been undefeated, you don't feel like there's anybody that can beat you. And I know that they feel that way. Now, when you lose, how do you rebound from that? Now, they've all lost before, obviously. So I'm sure they're going to rebound just fine. But right now, there's nothing to fear. So you go out there, you ball, you go through your process, and you're going to win games. And they're going to continue to do that until they get stopped. And I don't know when that's going to be. Like, to be honest with you guys, I have no idea when that's going to be. It could be BYU. Hell, it could be TCU on Saturday. It could be Iowa State when they come here. It could be, Kansas either game. Like, I don't know, because this team is so good and so solid. Hey, there's just not a lot of weaknesses that you can point to. And Jerome Tang said that. He was just like, who do you attack? Like, what are we supposed to do? Like, they're strong everywhere. They have an answer for everything.
We say it all the time as like a cliche things that like pundits and fans say, right, Damon? Of like, oh, this team must give coaches nightmares. Oh, this must make coaches lose sleep thinking about this defense. But you look at this Arizona roster and think, like, if I'm an upcoming opponent, like, the wife is waiting upstairs. I'm not coming up. I'm watching film. I don't know where to attack this Arizona team. My life is in shambles. I'm not sleeping until that game is over, because you can't attack Kharchenkov. He's a dog. You can't attack Jaden Bradley. He's a senior. You can't attack Brayden Burries because he's developed into not only a serviceable but plus defender. You can't go into the paint because they got 3 giants in there that will send you to Timbuktu, right? So, like, this, to me, feels like the one team in the country that you're looking at and, like, how do you stop that team unless they stop themselves? Now, I know that we've talked a little bit about this on McKale Madness, Saul, but of these January games, right, like, I can pull it up for you right now if you don't know off the top of your head, which here it is. Of these January games, which ones do you think we should be eyeing the most? There's 2 really obvious ones of TCU and BYU. I know those are the ones that Corey had a little banana peel next to that Arizona might slip up on. But now that we have the 3rd and the 7th checked off, which teams do you think give Arizona the biggest challenge for the remainder of the month?
Well, I'll add 3 now, because I think it's TCU, I think it's UCF, and I think it's BYU now. Because UCF, I know they lost yesterday, but they were playing some really, really good basketball. I think they're 12-2 on the season now. They've got a good all-around team. So they've done a good job. Dawkins has done a phenomenal job over there at UCF. So you got to give them some love. And it's in Orlando. I don't know who set the schedule up, but they completely screwed the people of Tucson by never giving them a weekend game for the first month of the season and only giving them Wednesday matchups. What is that all about? Like, listen, you think I want to drive down here on a Wednesday? Come on, man. Give me a Saturday, please. So yeah, like, I think those are the 3 matchups that I'd be concerned about. BYU looked hella good today, obviously. I've yet to look at the tape, but they played against ASU, so take that for what it's worth. And but they beat the absolute brakes off of them. And so I'm going to go back and take a look and see what that really looked like. But listen, BYU before the season was like the first premier game of the year, conference wise, and I think it remains that. They should get past TCU. They should get past UCF. They should get past all these other teams until January 26th. In Provo, and then we'll see what it's all about. And I'll say this right now: if Wright, because I did look at the box score, if Wright, DeBonta, and Richie Saunders, who dropped 30 plus tonight, and the other 2 dropped 20 plus, if that happens against any team in the country, you're in trouble. You're in absolute trouble.
News to me, so I didn't know ASU had a basketball team. I'm just finding that out right now. They never talk about it. They never talk about it. It's interesting how that works. But
you've been off the internet for at least a couple hours, Damon.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But it's funny you mentioned that those three, Saul, the Saunders, Wright, DeBansta trio, because Kevin and I have had the conversation on this show of like, who genuinely presents a challenge to Arizona, in college basketball, not just in the Big 12 necessarily. And I think, that was my answer. And I might have even, I don't remember if remembering this correctly, Kevin, convinced you kind of to come to my side a little bit on that one, because it's like those three guys are as good of a trio as any three in the country, in my opinion. And those three can light up a scoreboard. So if somehow they get a night where all three of them are hitting their shots and they're all playing efficient offense, that's the recipe, I think, to beat Arizona. But it's going to take like one of the most talented, skilled offensive groups in the country to have their A game to do so, which is crazy to say.
Yeah, the only other trio that I could think of is Lipsy, Jefferson, and I don't know the big tall European guy, Motiejus or Motiejus. That trio is solid because they have size, they have dynamic range from the outside and inside, and listen, those European guys, man, they got some funky game, and so like the one-legged step back Dirk Nowitzki shots, man, those will kill you, and so you got to be careful of that. So I think that trio as well is as dangerous as it gets in the Big 12, and obviously Iowa State's undefeated and having a great year. So, but yes, in terms of high-level scoring, you'd be hard-pressed to find another trio that's better than those three. And if they're all on, and now again, we're talking about ASU, like is Bobby Hurley's defensive prowess is not really a thing at ASU in terms of their teams. They like to play hard when it's against Arizona, but that only lasts for so long. So when it comes to actual high-level defense, listen, BYU also only scored 67 the other day against this Kansas State team, the same team that Arizona just put up over 100 points on.
K-State kept it close for the duration of that game for the most part, too.
They did. Yeah, they did. They were down 10 most of the second half, but yeah, they scored 83. Okay, it felt like it was a lot lower than that, but maybe I'm wrong.
83-73, so pretty similar on the Kansas State score of things, but obviously didn't score the amount that Arizona did tonight. We're gonna get back more into this game with Saul Bookman. But we do have to, talk about some ads here on the AZ Wildcats podcast. So we'll be right back. Drink your water. Do not go anywhere.
Unless it's to our friends over at Window Depot. Now, I love our friends over at Window Depot.
They must just have windows, Kevin.
But that's exactly why I love them. Because you hear the name Window Depot and you think, oh, that's windows.
It's all windows.
Incorrect, my friend. If you have a home renovation project, the Window Depot is literally the place for you. You see it at the bottom left hand of your screen. Quote, more than a window store. They're not lying. Need help bringing your vision to life? They have everything. No wait times, no gimmicks. I'm talking Phoenix, Tucson, Marana, and Chandler. They're everywhere across the Freedom State. I haven't said that in a while, I feel like. We're talking windows, doors, skylights, cabinets, countertops, sinks, and more. Sounds like a whole hell of a lot more than the Window Depot. It's the home renovation depot, dare I say. So if you got that project, I know I got 3 of them that I've been putting off, Damon, just on the back burner that I know I need to get to in my house. And I'm just like, yeah, it can wait another month. It can wait another week. Don't be like me. Don't procrastinate. Head to the Window Depot right now. In fact, you can visit thewindowdepot.com and get started on that next project because, like I said, they got everything from windows to countertops to skylights. Ever install a skylight in your home? You could tomorrow if you visited thewindowdepot.com. Stop in or give the Window Depot a call. Their team will help you get exactly what you need for your next home renovation project.
Shout out the Window Depot. We love our friends over there helping us renovate our homes in the big 2026. But how are we going to get there, Kevin? I'll tell you exactly how. Our friends at Arizona Lottery. Why don't you go play and win today with our friends at Arizona Lottery? You can go check out one of their great kiosks. They have one at every Circle K, and they also have their free gas for a year promotion, which I actually think is closed, Kevin. I think that is no longer open and available to people, but we will find out that winner here in a very, very short period of time. Multiplayer scratchers are the perfect thing to add to your life, guys. And with our friends at Arizona Lottery, you can multiply the good things like vacation, relaxation, and celebration. Over $270 million in prizes. And you could win big enough to do more of the things you love, like maybe renovating your home. How about that? We love our friends over at Arizona Lottery. We're so excited to have them back as a sponsor. They are such a great steward of the state. They do a lot of great community work here in the state of Arizona. What goes better with talking a little bit of Arizona sports than some Arizona Lottery right next to it. Go ahead and check out some of those scratchers for yourself. Check out those kiosks. Play and win today with our friends over at Arizona Lottery. Now, we are going to get our friend Saul Bookman out of here very shortly, but Saul, I did want to ask you one question because it's been a whole lot of positive, and obviously that is for good reason. We're 15-0. We dominated tonight, and we essentially dominate every single team that we play against these days. But there is one guy who isn't necessarily playing his A game right now, and I would say that is Anthony Del Orso, who has struggled a little bit as of late. 6 points tonight on 2 of 8 shooting, 0 for 5 from 3. Had some decent looks, had some stuff go in and out as well, where it felt like it easily could have dropped, but didn't. Was 1 of 4 last game against Utah. Played his lowest minute total of the season in that game. 3 of 9 against South Dakota State, 4 of 9 against Bethune-Cookman, 3 of 11 against San Diego State, 3 of 7 against Abilene Christian, and 5 of 13 against Alabama. Those are leading back to his last above 50% shooting game against Auburn, in which he went 5 of 8. What's going on with Delhi, Saul?
I think a little bit of I think it looks like maybe a little bit of some heavy legs. I think he's a little shorter on his shot. His release, his arm release hasn't been as extended, in my opinion, from my point of view, as it had been in the past. Usually when he lets the ball go, when I see the ball come off his hand, I'm like, oh yeah, that's going in. I could tell. It hasn't looked like that for a little bit now. It looks kind of shaky. But he's been stable out there. And that's the thing, is like, he's not a liability on the defense. He's a good facilitator. He can handle the ball. So yeah, the shot's not going in, but he does a lot of other things as well. And that's just kind of a microcosm. Like, every single one of these guys has gone through it at some point this season. They've had those lulls. Like, Brayden's was at the beginning of the season. Koa, in the middle of the season was kind of like, he had these games where he would have like 10, 11 points, kind of not what we would expect against like lower tier competition. But, it's just one of those things where they're just kind of working themselves through. There's going to be a point where Delhi's going to hit 8 threes in a game. It's just going to happen. Like, and hopefully it's against one of these banger of a teams, right? Yeah, like, absolutely. It's hard to get up for K-State, especially if you're from, like, listen, he's from Australia. He don't know what K-State is. He doesn't know where Manhattan is. Like, what was that? You know what I mean? Like, no. Give me BYU and this guy AJ that everybody keeps talking about. Like, okay, I'm ready to go for that. Oh, Florida, I got you here. Like, he's been solid. He's a pro. He's a vet. He's going to be fine. But I do agree with you. He has looked very un-Delhi like the last several games, and you need him to get back on board. Additionally, I heard your talking point about Kharchenkov and whether or not, like, you'd like to see more out of him. Honestly, what he did tonight or what he's done the other big games, I could care less. The intangibles, the defense, just the overall skill set, he makes an impact in every single game, whether it shows up on the box score or not. His DNA and his intangibles affect the entire group. And when you talk, they asked, so Mo and Brayden Burries were in the postgame presser, and they were talking, and they asked about Ivan Kharchenkov and what he means to the team, and Brayden immediately smiled, like he said, in Brayden's words, he's the thing that keeps our defense going. And I think that's a huge statement, considering you have some other players on that court like Jaden Bradley, who are elite defenders. And for him to single out Kharchenkov like that and say that he feels like he's kind of the straw that stirs the drink for the defense is a pretty incredible statement. And they don't have any weaknesses. And then last, I do want to say Dwayne Aristode, right? Okay, in this game, I thought that there was multiple opportunities for Dwayne Aristode to chuck up shots, and he deferred. All right, so If we want to clip this, or if you want to clip this and send it to me, and I'll tag him on Instagram. I don't care what it is, but Dwayne, my guy, we are well past the point of, playing within the team concept so much that you pass up open shots. You need to shoot because you're a good shooter. You need to shoot. You need to score. You need to hit that midi when they back up off of you all the way to the basket. And we're like, I dare you to shoot it. You got to shoot the ball, Dwayne. You see me? You got to shoot the ball, Dwayne. Okay. So that's it.
It's what he did against Northern Arizona, right? And when he had the record tying 6 threes, right? He came out in the post-game presser and they asked him, like, what made you shoot the ball so damn much tonight? And he said, Tommy came up to me and said, stop being so passive, be more aggressive. And he did just that. And I kind of anticipated it to be more of a mentality switch that would be continued. And it felt like it kind of just got caught up in that game where he hit 6 threes. And we haven't really seen that like super aggressive version of Dwayne Aristode yet this season. But real quick, before we get you out of here, Saul, I wanted to finish up that conversation on Kharchenkov because I thought it was interesting, the thing you brought up about him stirring the drink on defense. It's something Damon and I talked about on this podcast, one of our live shows recently, about how I was saying that it's one thing to have an elite defense for the duration of a shot clock, right? We've all seen great defenses that cannot reward themselves with either a stop or a turnover to show for their good defense. What makes Ivan Kharchenkov the drink stirrer for the defense is the whole defense, all 5 guys is playing good defense, but he'll get the steal for you. He'll force the turnover, and now we're going the other way. We got points off turnovers. The defense, now there's a tangible result to that good defensive possession, as opposed to either they get a missed shot. Fans don't really look at that as like wow, look how good this Arizona defense is with that missed shot, but they do see a steal. They do see a transition slam, right? And I think that is the reward at the end of a good defensive possession, is that steal, is that block shot that Ivan Kharchenkov can get you, and it's loud, it's noticeable, and it pushes the other team back in terms of progress with their offense. And that's why I agree with Brayden Burries, Brayden Burries, with that thing that he said about, man, he's what makes our defense go, because he really is. He's what gets you over the finish line in a defensive possession. You defend the whole time, Absolutely. He'll get you that steal and finish it.
Yeah, for sure. No, you said it all right there. Again, like this entire team, it doesn't matter who scores, 20, 30, 15, 10, 5. It doesn't matter. They're going to find a way. And that's defensively, they are a good, solid group from top to bottom, front court, back court. There's not weaknesses on either side of the court. I'm telling you, man, like I'm scratching my head to think of the last Arizona team that was so balanced on both ends, to where they could easily score 100 points in a game, but they could also shut out an opponent and hold them to 50 in a game if they wanted to. I do believe the first 10 minutes of the last 2 games, I think Arizona's only given up 22, 23 points. So they're starting these games off, shutting them down and getting out into their own runs and getting their own leads. And so it's a really remarkable thing. I need to do some research, because I can't remember the last Arizona team that was this well balanced. And we brought it up on McKale Madness last night, and I was scratching my head trying to think, what other teams were there? I understand 97, 98, 2001, those are great teams. 2015, Elite Eight with Aaron Gordon and stuff like that. But those teams couldn't score like this. 2001 could, but 2015 couldn't.
Yeah.
97 was kind of rough. Let's not forget, 97 was a rough season, and they got the 5 seed or 4 seed to get to the tournament, and then they got hot. They it all gelled at the right time, right? But I wouldn't say that if you got Bennett Davison or at least AJ Bradley on the perimeter, no disrespect, and you had a big that could cook, or you switched them up on the dribble handoff or a pick and roll. Listen, AJ Bradley's not the most nimble guy on the perimeter. Well, even Krivas can show a little bit more athleticism at this point right now, and that's the evolution of basketball. But it's just the sum of all of its parts are just beautiful right now. I say that, and they still have big games to go. And obviously, these things tend to blemish a little bit more when you're playing against higher level competition. So we'll see what that looks like down the road. But for right now, everything looks great.
I'll add on to your point. I mean, scoring 101 points when you shoot 18% from the 3-point line, 3 of 16 is absolutely insane. Especially in modern college basketball. Like teams are chucking up shots and Arizona doesn't need to. They'll be like, you chuck up shots and try to play catch up with us because we know we're going to score efficiently in the paint every single night. And they're going to do so and put up close to triple digits in these games, despite that lack of 3-point shooting. So, I mean, that is truly, kind of, I think what makes this team so special.
For sure. There's a couple last points. One, I don't know what his name is for K-State, but I don't know if they picked him up at Sporting Chance or the Rec or whatever, but my guy.
Drewski.
Kendrick Perkins.
Oh man.
That could have been the label.
That was Kendrick from Perkins. No, like my guy, you got it. Like the first time he shot the 3, I was like, and all he hit was backboard. I was like, oh my God, my guy, what are we doing? Also, where do they find these fans that they choose to come out here in front of God and country to shoot these threes in these little in between timeout like games? The guy that they picked tonight, no disrespect, all the love in the world, whoever it is out there, I don't know who you are, my guy. I think he hit the rim once out of like 33s. Once he airballed them all. I'm like, bro, where do they find? Do they just interview people? I'm like, have you ever seen a basketball before? No, you're their guy. Like, it's crazy. It's just wild.
As someone who used to do those like little events, I was one of like the rally cats for the baseball team. So I would like pick kids to do the Taco Bell like sauce race at the 7th inning stretch or whatever. You really do just pick people. Like you really do just walk around because some people don't want to do it. Some people are all about it. Some people are too much about it. And you're like, no, we're not picking you. You want to be in this way too much. Right. So like they literally do go through and just pick anybody.
Why not? Let them cook a little bit. Like, listen, I have a story. Okay, so in 2015, when I first got to this campus, I brought my kids to a women's basketball game. Biggest mistake ever. Nia Butts' teams were trash. But I was like, hey, you gotta see what McKale looks like. So we came in, and one of the guys that used to sit in the front row crew, he was running these games for the women's basketball team. So he was like, hey, you want to do the free throw shootout against another person? I was like, hell yeah. So I got up there. I missed my first 2. And then I cashed in 14 in a row. I had the whole South section going crazy. They were like, 1, 2, like they were going crazy, man. I was just like, yeah. And then I looked over at my kids and I was like, yeah, your pop still got it. You know what I mean? Like, it was cool, man. It was cool. I think that was better than the 43 consecutive free throws I hit in high school.
That actually is that's like bucket list dream come true. Crowd going ballistic at McKale Center because you're just so hot. Shooting it.
Dude, hey, listen, don't give me a chance in front of this McKale crowd because I will cash him in. I promise you that.
I love it. We're going to have to make that happen, Saul. You're at all these games. I feel like that's something that is not like out of the picture. Like we can make the Saul Bookman shooting on-court experience a thing, but that's going to be for another day, but we're going to start that campaign immediately. Saul, we appreciate you so much for giving your time. Safe travels back up. Are you coming back tonight?
I am, as always. You got to hit that wet road and come all the way back.
Safe travels back up tonight, brother. You could follow Saul on all socials at Saul_Bookman. McKale Madness, of course, once a week. It was yesterday. It will be on Thursday next week. Yes, it will be on Thursday next week, I believe at 7 p.m., correct? So that will be
also, one more thing. Sophia Chavez. Diehard, listens to you guys all the time, listens to our pod. She just beat stomach cancer. Shout out to Sophia for that. Just fantastic. She came and saw me before the game started, and she was just like, I've been trying to find you everywhere. I've dropped comments in the YouTube. I don't ever go back and look at the YouTube comments, so I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Anyway, she wanted to give you guys some mad love. She's a diehard. She's also a Suns fan. She's gone out to Gila River several times, so I just want to make sure I gave her a shout out and give her some love, because listen, man, she said when she did what she did, she was like, I'm going to live life to my fullest. And so she bought tickets to come to these games. and she bought half a season of tickets over there for the Suns. She lives out in Chandler. She drives all the way down here for all these games. So I really have no excuse to sit there and be like, oh, man, do I really want to go down to Tucson? Nope. Get your ass up, Saul. Get your butt down there because, hey, life is short. God is good. So we got to do what we got to do. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. We love to hear that. Shout out, Sophia. We appreciate you so much for listening. And what an incredible story there. And we're so happy to hear that, truly. From the bottom of our hearts. Like, cancer sucks. And being cancer free is something to be celebrated. And Arizona, what's better to celebrate with than Arizona basketball, the #1 team in the nation? Nothing, right?
It's a great thing that you said that, Damon, because we do have, and we're going to get to this at the very end of the pod, but Sophia is a great example of this, right? At All City, we're doing this new sports over everything, like moniker, motto, and that is the literal embodiment of it, right? Like, you're going to live your life to the fullest because you've just come over this harrowing, life-challenging issue. What are you choosing to do? How are you choosing to live your life on the planet? Supporting your sports teams because you do not want to miss out on anything that they have going on. That is sports over everything, and that is literally what we're doing here at PHNX. So shout out to Sophia. That goes straight to the bottom of my heart. That was incredible that Saul said that. So shout out to you. Shout out to everybody watching this podcast.
I mean, guys, like, listen, man, the sports over everything is not like, sports trumps, your family and stuff like that. That's not what it's meant for. It's meant to be able to have something, a common bond with your fellow man or woman and understand that we share this together. Like, when I'm at a game for the first time and I'm standing next to somebody who's wearing the same colors I am, I don't know what their background is. I don't know what they're all about, but I do know one thing. We love this team. And that's all that matters for right now. In this next 2 hours, we're going to celebrate together. Last week I was in San Diego for the Holiday Bowl, and and Lori Burkhart, who I've never hung out with before. I hit her up and I was like, hey, I know you got season tickets and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, long story short, we connected out there in San Diego. I got to hang out with her husband, her mom and dad, and it was like the greatest weekend ever. And I never hung out with them, but we all have that common bond. And I got to meet some really kick-ass cool people for 3 days and enjoy San Diego, and even enjoy the bowl game despite the result. Like, it was still a pleasurable experience. So, hey, shout out to all the Wildcat fans. And that's why I say, like, never be afraid to come up to any of us when you see us and introduce yourself, because we love it. And we want to make sure that, we represent this pod and this team as well as we can. And you guys already do that. So anyway, I'm out of here. I'm going to drive up to Chandler. Love y'all, good boys. Keep doing the great work. Bear down, everyone.
That is, of course, Saul Bookman. Like I said, go follow him at Saul_Bookman on all social media and check out McKale Madness for yourself once a week. It was yesterday. It does change the day of the week per each week, so you have to keep up to date with that. But that's
Corey's
easy
a busy
to do.
guy.
That's easy to do when you got Corey and Saul giving you dropping the knowledge on Arizona basketball once a week. Thursday night of next week, they will be doing a McKale Madness episode at 7 p.m. So make sure that you guys are there for that. But yeah, Kevin, that was really cool to hear from Saul in terms of
incredible
the Sophia thing and shout out Sophia for such an incredible accomplishment. Cheers, Sophia. Bear down, as AZ Cats Dan says. Champy comes in with a super chat of his own. So domination from the Suns and
the Wildcats
and the Wildcats simultaneously equals heaven.
Yeah.
We agree, Champy. We agree over here at PHNX Sports. And we just love basketball that damn much. Now, Kevin, we do have some sound from Tommy Lloyd. I'm going to give you a chance to get that in unless you already do have that in.
I got it in, yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and let's hear from Tommy Lloyd. What do we got?
So I have 2 clips from Tommy Lloyd. Cohen, shout out to Cohen Kinney, got all the post-game sound for us. But I think these are the 2 best clips. And we're going to go ahead and start with Tommy Lloyd talking about Ivan Kharchenkov's impact on this team. And apparently, he almost didn't come to the States. So let's see what Tommy Lloyd had to say about Ivan Kharchenkov.
Yeah, to be honest with you, we knew Ivan was a really good prospect for a couple of years, but things were different. We didn't think he was coming to the States, for certain reasons. And when the opportunity, opened up for him to come, we jumped back in it. And to be honest with you, it wasn't a deep study. It was just, we'd seen him enough when he was young, and when Carter left for the NBA, we had a void that needed to be filled, and he was the best option. So, he's been awesome. And, we did a couple Zooms with him. I think Murph went over there a couple times. And you guys have seen Yvonne. I mean, the first Zooms we did with him were really easy and comfortable. Just like he is with you guys. He's a great guy. So I knew he'd be a great fit for our program.
Yeah, Saul mentioned something, Kevin, during his hit here on the AZ Wildcats post game, and he was talking about how all these guys are like the same dude. They're all just so level headed. They don't let the moment get too big. And Ivan Kharchenkov really does fit into that mold. Like, we're talking about a guy who was like, I'm not saying that they don't teach you good English in Germany, because I'm pretty sure everybody in Germany is like literally required to learn English. But that being said, like, he's doing an English interview on a podcast, a month after he stepped on Arizona's campus or whatever at the Arizona Basketball Media Day with us. Like, and he just looked comfortable on the set, did he not? Like, he was as cool as a cucumber, I think is what the kids are saying these days. So I just feel like, Ivan Kharchenkov he fits that mold to a T. It seems obvious that when they sat down with him, they were like, yep, this is a fit for this program. Shout out Jack Murphy for kind of being that lead international recruiter and finding a guy like that. But yeah, man, I mean, Ivan Kharchenkov is a special basketball player.
Could you have replaced, to Max's point, could you have replaced Carter Bryant with a better player than Ivan Kharchenkov? I don't think you really could have, within reason, right? It feels like he does everything that you want.
Yeah.
Because you don't need like some superstar wing pouring in 30 a night from that. Like, that's what we would have expected from Carter. Like, we would have expected
Carter would shoot a little better, but that's the one thing.
And you don't even need shots out of that position, because you got Peat, you got Brayden Burries, you got all these different guys that need to get fed. So Ivan Kharchenkov legitimately is the best stylistic, mentality-wise, like, replacement for a guy like Carter Bryant. And you bring up the idea that all these guys kind of fall under the same umbrella, right? That was probably one of our biggest takeaways from Media Day, talking to these guys, was you and I coming away like, man, all these dudes singularly care about winning basketball games. And how do they do that? They develop as individuals and then come together as a team.
We have breaking news.
Oh, no.
It's Sheila, not Sophia.
Oh, my God.
Yes, that is
Saul.
a big
Saul.
mistake. Sheila Chavez. Shout out Sheila. No
God.
need to send in another super chat, AZ Cat Stan, but it is Sheila Chavez, not Sophia. So Sheila, we are so happy for you. Congratulations. And it truly is special to hear that you listen to this podcast. Hopefully we can help you through some of those really tough times, but
you're killing me, Saul.
But yeah, sports over everything.
You're killing me, Saul. We didn't get the name right of the person. That's messed up. But yeah, no, shout out to
journalism
Sheila.
101, man.
It is 101.
They tell you on first day of class, they're like, if you screw up a name, you're as good as fired.
Man, that's messed up.
It was a fun run as a podcast over here.
It's messed up what Saul just did to us. Shout out to Sheila. Shout out. Congratulations to Sheila. I don't know who the hell Sophia is. I don't know who the hell what Sophia had going on that was deserving of congratulations. Our congratulations should have went to Sheila. But yeah, shout out to Sheila. Shout out to Saul, even though he got the name wrong. But no, like, we're talking about these guys all being cut from the same cloth, and that is true. Like, they just want to get better as individuals because they know that helps their team goal. And I think it's partially because Tommy Lloyd understands who he is as a basketball coach and what that means for his recruiting. Here's Tommy Lloyd talking about starting out with struggles like last year's non-conference versus starting out undefeated this year and him potentially finding his sweet spot half a decade into head coaching.
It's been great for me. I feel like, personally, that I'm coming into my sweet spot as a coach, where, I don't want to act like I've had all the answers, and maybe in the past I felt like I did, and I was proven wrong. But I think I've got a lot of experiences to pull from, good experiences and tough experiences. And last year was a tough one, but I think it says a lot about a program. When you're at a place like Arizona and you're 4-5, panic ensues, and we were able to steady the ship and have a really good year. I mean, it says a lot about the players. I think it says a lot about the staff. I'm thankful. Honestly, I can say this now. I'm thankful for what I went through last year. I think it made me a better coach. Let's see how this year plays out. We'll withhold judgment till the end of the year, and then we can see how much I've improved.
I love Tommy Lloyd, man. I love listening to his post-game press conferences.
More.
Oh, no, I love him more.
I love him most.
No, I'm going to go back and watch that presser 3 times in full tonight because I love him the most. And that's what I'm going to do. But no, like seriously, he's one of those coaches where I feel like if you really listen to him, you learn a lot about not only his job, but the sport. And I think like, man, when we're talking about Tommy Lloyd having experiences to pull back on, last year is certainly one of them. Now, you don't want to have to go through that. But what did we talk about all last year? For Tommy Lloyd to take that non-conference and turn it into a Sweet 16 appearance against Duke and whatnot, incredibly impressive.
Yeah.
You spend the whole offseason planning your offense around like Caleb Love, Mo Krivas, Jaden Bradley, Trey Townsend in that group. And then you lose Mo Krivas. Got to refix it all. And now Trey Townsend's not playing the way you thought he would play in that front court position. And you're up Schitt's Creek without a paddle, and you still find a way to get back home. Like, I think that is...
Henry, you get up off the... you're in.
And he made him a multi-million-dollar man.
He did.
Right? So, like Tommy Lloyd, as Cohen says, if this is his sweet spot, get the 10-year contract now.
I'm cool with a lifetime contract, honestly. He's the best coach in the country. I'm willing to come out and say that. I heard them talking about this on I think it was AZ12 the other day, talking about, like, would Kentucky or Kansas or North Carolina or a team like that come calling? Probably, right? Why wouldn't you? I think he's genuinely the best coach in the country. I don't think he's leaving, though. I think this is Tommy Tucson we're talking about. He's a special cat, like genuinely.
Yeah, no, literally.
Like, he's not the type of guy where he's job hopping looking for his next big op. Like, I mean, he's not Jedd Fisch, in other words, I think is what I'm trying to say. You look at him and what he did at Gonzaga, he had every opportunity to go be a head coach elsewhere. Could have gone to Washington. As the assistant coach of Gonzaga, he could have been the head coach at Washington. And he said, nah, I'm good. You keep it, Seattle. Then Arizona comes calling and he says, yeah, that's the one job I would take. This guy he's so special. I think he's the best coach in the country. I think we got him forever. And yeah, I mean, just lock him up. Lifetime. I'm in.
Tyler Warden picked the best time to pop in with his Jedd Fisch propaganda because now we're literally talking about guys job hopping. But Tyler Warden, shout out to you. Some great tweets getting let off about that topic on Twitter right now. So go check his Twitter out over there as well. But yeah, no, Tommy Lloyd, like, he is our fearless leader. We talk about it all the time. Like, listening to him talk about coaching in that way is awesome. I love hearing from Tommy Lloyd. And I love hearing from everybody in the chat. Thank you all for tapping in with us. And now we do have one more thing to get to before we get out of here, Damon. And it's some positive news in the football ranks. What do we got?
Yeah, Damon Williams is leaving Washington. Woo! Jedd Fisch. Buddy. We love it. I'm so fired up about it, Kevin. Obviously, I conned you a little bit into saying we're going to talk a little bit of Arizona transfer portal updates. But first, we got to get some licks in, my guy. What the hell is going on in Montlake? I'll tell you what's going on. That REI money dried up. That Boeing money dried up. That Costco money dried up. That Starbucks money dried up. The Apple money, Kevin. The Microsoft money. Where did it all go, Jedd Fisch? My guy's pulling his pockets out right now, being like, we got nothing else to give you, Damon.
Wait, Damon, sorry, I'm going to call. Hello? Yeah, this is he. Podcast about the Washington Huskies? No, I can't accept that job. I'm not even in the portal. I'm literally live on my podcast right now. Who is this? Jedd Fisch. Get off my phone, man.
Hashtag let Jedd cook. Or let Jedd Fisch, I should say. I mean, the guy, could it happen to a nicer individual? Talk about karma, Kevin. I'm not the biggest believer in karma because there are people, unfortunately, in this world that are the scum of the earth, the lowest of the low, and somehow they find themselves at the top of society. That being said, Jedd Fisch, this is karma, buddy. You went and you tampered with our team on your way out. You're calling Tyler Loop in his position coach's room, as Tyler Warden tweeted the other day, and you're saying, hey, why don't you come to Washington when he's not even in the portal? Now Washington fans are suddenly disgusted with tampering in college football. Now it's a step too far, Kevin. You love it. You love to see it. Like, I've said this before. I'm not going to hate Washington forever. When Saul and I did our hate tier list earlier in the offseason, I believe I put Washington in its own category right under ASU that said Jedd Fisch. That was the category. Because listen, I'm not a Washington hater. I'm a Jedd Fisch hater. But you know who else can get theirs? The Washington fans who were saying that Arizona fans don't want their players to play big boy football. Oh, why are you holding them back? All this stuff, right? And they were talking about taking our whole team. They're even talking about taking Fafita right now. They're talking about taking Fafita. The same dude at the Holiday Bowl who went up there and said, "Man, we got unfinished business to do. I'm coming back."
Didn't opt out, by the way.
Word for word. And all of a sudden you think that he's going to leave to go join that slimy greaseball Jedd Fisch up there in Seattle? Hell no. And so I just think that this is truly karma. It was coming. It was always going to happen to Jedd Fisch. I thought it was going to happen in the form of Jedd Fisch leaving to go to another job, right? Because he was begging all the other jobs in the country, "Please take me. Please get me out of Washington. My family hates it here."
Who want me?
Yeah,
No.
Who want me? No, 100%. But instead, Kevin, it happened in an even better case scenario. This is the best case scenario. I thought Jedd leaving after 1 or 2 years was best case scenario. I was dead wrong. Best case scenario was Jedd's talent being tampered with by other teams, the bigger dogs across the country, for him to get a little bit of his own medicine. And then for Washington to be sitting there with their pockets emptied, tears streaming down their face, going, "This is not fair. How dare DeMond Williams do this?" And personally, I want it injected directly into my veins. That's all I got.
I mean, I can't top that. I love it as much as the next guy. I don't like Jedd Fisch. Don't want to see him succeed. I love that he's getting done the same way he did Arizona. But I think we're going to talk more about that tomorrow.
We will talk a little bit
and
more
a lot more positive news on the Arizona Wildcats side of things as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Arizona gets a couple of transfers in today. DJ Jordan being the biggest one. USC wide receiver, was a redshirt freshman last year. Didn't play a whole lot, but still has, I believe, 3 years of eligibility remaining, and was a top 100 recruit in the country coming out of high school. So lots of untapped talent in that receiver right there. And Arizona needed to bring in kind of like one receiver, right? That's kind of what we highlighted. They need like one guy at receiver. They also bring in a tight end from Southern Miss. Kevin, if you don't remember, I believe Josh Miller was the tight ends coach at Southern Miss when Arizona got him to sign on here at Arizona and come to Tucson. So I'm sure there's a previously established relationship there, and they know exactly what they're getting in one. And I apologize for not having this name ready to go, but they know what they're getting in one. Shane King. Absolutely. He's the second tight end Arizona has brought in this cycle. And then, of course, you bring in Tyrese Boss, cornerback out of Wyoming, started all 12 games last year for the Cowboys. What I believe he also has 3 years of eligibility remaining. And according to Greg Biggins, who is one of the names to talk to and listen to, I should say, when it comes to football recruiting, says he was one of the best available defensive backs in the portal. So it seems like a pretty big time addition from the Arizona side of things. We're going to dive deeper into these players, but Arizona, Brent Brennan, starting to cook a little bit more on the transfer portal trail, and you absolutely love to see it. Jedd Fisch, on the other hand, tough. I heard Bo Prabula is visiting, though. That's cool. He's not better than DeMond Williams.
No, he's not.
Downgrade alert. So that's what's going on in the Arizona football side of things right now. But Kevin, like I said, Kevin and I are going to re-update with you guys with all that kind of stuff tomorrow on the AZ Wildcats podcast. We'll be live at 2 p.m. I believe we will have one Erica Day on the show tomorrow.
Talking
correct?
women's hoops. Becky Burke gets a big old fat conference W against BYU. And also, before we get on out of here, Damon, we do have one more K-State related thing to do, and that is our love to play the game with our friends over at Arizona Lottery. Now, if you're not familiar, this is our play of the game segment. And tonight, oh boy, tonight, we were not short on options for a play of the game. We have a ton. I was trying to put them in a list of the games so I didn't forget any of them.
I'm trying to Rolodex them right now in my head.
There's a list in the show rundown if you wanted a little bit of a cheat sheet. There's probably a good 7 options in this one. I think I'm going to go with the Burries poster over the 7'2" Raul Rosas Jr., a.k.a. Buka, whatever the hell his name was. He got dunked on by Brayden Burries, and it wasn't unbelievable, but it was unbelievable from the standpoint of it was a legitimate caught a body over a legitimate 7-footer who's not just 7 feet, he's 7'2", and he continued to dunk on guys the rest of the night. So for that, give me Brayden Burries' poster over the 7-footer. Honorable mention, because I know Damon's not going to mention this one, so I'm not taking anything off his plate. The random Dwayne Aristode LeBron block.
I knew where you were going with that.
It was completely random. Didn't end up happening much with it, but it was incredible, and I loved it.
That was fire.
It was fire.
Not in Dwayne Aristode's house. Let me see. I think the thing that got me the most juiced up, Kevin, was when Krivas was in full domination mode, and then he put that dude under the basket and dunked on his head. That was.
You did get fired up for that.
I think that was. You watched the game with me. I think that was the number one thing that fired me up the most. So I'm gonna have to roll with that. Love my guy Mo Krivas showing a little bit of physicality and just being undeniable, saying I'm dunking this basketball. And the best part about it, and as Saul said, like he knew where the dude. He has better spatial awareness down low. He's catching the ball. He's taking it straight into their chest, and then he's spinning around and he's dunking on people, and I absolutely love to see it. ADO's chase down block was also pretty tough. Owen,
Fire me up.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Also, Owen put up there earlier in the chat that I let my inner old man show through. I think I did that, Kevin, when I got by a hacker in my DMs and lost access to my account for about an hour and a half. That was truly the first like eye-opening, like, man, what happened to you? You used to be so youthful and full of life, and now you're just #chopped, #unk.
Another honorable mention, as Owen says, don't click links.
Don't click links. Don't think that you're supporting a friend and his endeavor to get his podcast voted for on a website that you've never heard of before.
Some more honorable mentions in that row. We did a whole Love to Play segment, and nobody, not chat, not Damon, not me, is giving Peat love for that poster dunk.
Yeah,
where he did the Jordan and pointed at the guy. It was so good, you can't even mention it in the segment because it's so damn obvious.
That was you I dunked on. What do you think he said?
Probably can't say that on this here show, and it will get me canceled. But I might talk to you about it off air.
Fair. That is absolutely fair, Kevin. I think I will be refraining from any statements that Peat may have said.
I was seeing I love watching, I love lip reading during the celebrations to see what guys are yelling at the other guys in the moment. I can't repeat those things that Brayden Burries was telling Peat here on this live air, but maybe David and I will talk about it off air. But yeah, that's all I got. Give me Brayden Burries' poster over the 7-footer and Aristode block as my two love the plays of the game.
Now, Kevin, before we get out of here, I did want to say that we will have, as you said, as I said, Erica Day will be on tomorrow talking a little bit of Arizona women's hoops. We'll get an update on that. Arizona and Becky Burke got their first big win of the season, I would say, against BYU. Showed a ton of heart. Beating BYU isn't for everybody. Let me just make that clear. Beating BYU is not for everybody. So big win in my opinion. We'll talk a little bit more about that. We'll talk. I'm sure Erica will bring the fire on the Arizona women's basketball topics tomorrow. I'm bringing the fire on laughing at Jedd Fisch some more because I'm not done. I'm bringing it back tomorrow, and we're gonna pretend like this didn't even happen. We're gonna be like, hey, you guys, I don't know if you heard about this. Demond Williams entered the portal, and we're gonna laugh all over again like it's breaking news.
Demond when Jedd hits his phone. I thought I deleted the number. Oh no.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And also to make matters funnier, this all went down when Sam Levitt was sitting courtside with Lane Kiffin at an LSU basketball game. Bro is at an LSU basketball game with Lane Kiffin, and Lane's texting his side piece. Really is who he wants to be his main piece if we're keeping it a buck.
Yeah, Sam, you are the side, and that was the moment where he realizes he's the side. He thinks he's the main.
Sam's going, who you texting, coach? And he's going, oh, it's nobody. I promise it's nobody.
He's laughing at his phone and stuff. He's like, oh, Demond.
Demond, you're so funny. You say Demond?
I meant Diamond Jules, which is what we're going to get you with your NIL deal of that down at the Diamond District, Sam. So just, you see that cotton candy guy? Crazy.
Trouble in Levittsville. And as Max says, maybe we could use a backup.
Did you say Levittsville or Louisville, as in Kentucky?
I said Levittsville.
Oh, well, Kentucky.
I guess, but Kentucky moved on.
Wow.
Kentucky got the Notre Dame backup.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So where is he going, actually? Genuinely.
He visited Tennessee today. And then I believe, I personally think, and maybe this isn't the case, but I think he's waiting on Oregon. I think he's waiting on Dante Moore to declare for the draft, and then he's going to go to Oregon, back where he's from, back where it all started.
It's a bold move to wait, though.
It is.
It's a bold move to wait.
It is. I right now, like, Tennessee and Oregon feel like the top two, but he is getting passed up over and over and over again and being used as leverage over and over and over again.
It's almost like he's not the talent that we were told that he was.
I thought
and now that these high-level evaluators are looking at his tape, they're like, you know what? He's good, but this guy's really good, and I want that guy.
Yeah. I mean, On 3 and 24/7 Sports sure drank the Kool-Aid and put him number one in the portal, but people that have actually watched his tape and know the level at which he played at last season, no one was impressed by that. That was some of the most inconsistent passing out of a star quarterback I've ever seen in my life. So good luck to Sam Leavitt, but it's not going well right now. We're going to laugh a little bit more about that as well tomorrow. 2 p.m., be there. AZ Wildcats Pod. I'm Damon Dog. That's DWG. You can follow me again. I am back. I am alive. I've risen. And you can go ahead and follow my guy Kevin Thomas at KevoPost. That's KEVOPOSTS. Follow us at PHNX_Wildcats, and we'll catch you tomorrow on the AZ Wildcats Pod at 2 p.m. Make sure that you guys are there. Erica Day on tomorrow. Peace out. Bear down.
And go Cats. Sports over everything.
We all silly like the mayor.